Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into one of the weirdest and most inconsistent horror franchises of the 80s and 90s, the House series. Yep, those movies with these movies has everything from haunted Vietnam flashbacks to zombie cowboys to killer pizzas. At the center of it all, the producer Sean S. Cunningham, the man who brought us Friday the 13th. So let's break it down. Well, now we're gonna let's break down all four house films one by one. Before I get into that, just want to showcase I do have the House Collection by Arrow Video. And quick fun fact, upon purchasing this, I didn't know that there was four of these movies. I knew about the first two because I watched them in childhood. I just haven't seen them in a long time. I definitely remember loving the first one, and just kind of you just watch the movie, you only seen it so many times back in the day, and just don't remember it. So I was like, oh, I want to watch House again. With me having this physical media problem, I purchased the whole box set. So here we are breaking down the House collection. All right. First up is the original House from 1985, directed by Steve Miner and produced by Sean S. Cunningham. This movie right here is peak 80s horror comedy. It follows Roger Cobb. He's a horror author and Vietnam vet. He's dealing with grief, PTSD, and lives in a haunted house. But this isn't your typical haunted house flick. There are monster closets, flying garden tools, bizarre creatures that feel straight out of a nightmare or cartoon, and it blends real psychological trauma with like crazy practical effects. Somehow it works. I would say it's smart, funny, surprisingly heartfelt, and it's an underrated gem. One of my there's a lot of memorable parts in this movie from uh when he was babysitting the neighbor's kid and one of the monster's hands was on the kid's back and the mom's like, what's going on? And he's trying to play it off, and then the dog bites onto the hand. Oh dude, it was just the craziest. There's a lot of trippy stuff going on. It was one of those like every time he opened up the closet or a door, there'll be something random. He ends up in Vietnam or a monster comes out of it. Crazy movie. His neighbor was a huge fan, but was funny as hell. This was a classic movie. I would say it's definitely different. Has a lot of comedy, a lot of horror. It's actually creepy. It's really creepy as hell. And can't you can mention Sean S. Cunningham, but you can't forget to mention Harry Manfredini. Sorry, the same composer from Friday the 13th, and score is fantastic. I enjoy that as well. But ultimately, this movie to me still is a classic. I enjoy this movie. I enjoy the the Vietnam moments. I enjoy the monster moments that this movie has, and the comedy pieces are actually funny. It's goofy as hell. I love this movie. It's a classic, like weird, different movie. It's one of a kind. I love it. Definitely give this like an 8.5 out of 10, almost a 9. Um, I guess because it's weird. I give it. I can't give it a 9. I don't know. I say 8.5 out of 10 for sure. This is House One. Okay. Classic. Now with that, we have House Two. Well, it's a sequel in name. It's House Two technically. It's House Two. This one goes completely off the rails. New characters, new house, new tone. It has a little bit more Indiana Jones and Mummy meets Pee Wee's Playhouse in a horror realm. Okay. Jesse, our main guy, finds out his ancestral home is hiding a crystal skull in time portals and a zombie great great grandpa named Gramps. There's crazy batshit things from a baby pterodactyl, caterpillar dog, some cowboy action thrown in there. It's ridiculous. It's a bit fun. It's still weird as House. So like it fits in that same realm. It's where, you know, it has the whole the dude digs a hole in a wall and he's in a ancient tomb from Tomb Raider looking shit, you know, and you have the skull that gives people eternal life, and there's a cowboy instead of a Vietnam guy from part one, you have a cowboy now, an outlaw. And and the grandpa, the old zombie grandpa, he's funny as hell. He's, you know, he keeps the humor going, and it keeps that house vibe. Now this one wasn't as great and as spooky as the first one. Like the first one had a lot of creepiness to it, and yet it had the comedy, and it was very like, what's going on? So now we're in part two. You're still like, what's going on? And you're still giggling, but it doesn't retain that little creep factor, and that's where it drops a couple points for me. But I still like this one. I still think if you really enjoyed the first one and you're aware of how kooky and quirky this movie is, and then still has its spookiness, then you'll like this one. It's just more on the silliness, but it's still a good movie. But I would give House 2 a 7 out of 10. House 1 8.5, House 2 7 out of 10. Okay. And now this is where we're going to get down to the nitty gritty. Now this one is tricky. House 3, The Horror Show, 1989. In the US, House 3 was released as I think it was released as The Horror Show, not House 3. And they dropped, in this one, they actually, it's much more serious. They dropped the comedy for straight. They went hardcore horror on this one, okay? Which sounds good. Like, oh, okay, no more goofy shit, right? But not exactly. Think Nightmare on Elm Street, but darker and more mean-spirited, and a little bit of Shocker. That's what I would say. Cross between Nightmare on Elm Street and Shocker. Lance, whose name was Lance. He plays a cop haunted by a serial killer's ghost, and it gets brutal. You have electrocutions, meat cleavers, hallucinations, all dialed up. Sean Cunningham still had his hand in production, but this feels like a completely different movie. For literally delete House 3 from it, just call it The Horror Show, and it probably would rate a little bit better. But it's not a bad movie. It's just so disconnected from what you just from the first two movies you just watched. If you're a fan of the grim late 80s horror, you'll definitely dig it. But if you're a House fan, you're gonna be literally like, what am I watching? This has nothing to do with House. And neither the second one, but usually there's like a house involved. Yeah, stuff happens in a house, but it's not, you know, you don't open up a door and you're in like a carnival or some random shit. I don't know what they could have did, but this was definitely more on a Shocker meets Nightmare on Elm Street vibe. And I don't know what they thought with the main killer, if they thought his laugh was cooking. His laugh was annoying as hell to me. So definitely drop some points there on that. So regardless if it was House 3 or not, the killer was kind of annoying. It had some cool little kills, you know, a little bit of paranormal, supernatural stuff going on in this, but if it wasn't House 3, I would give it a better score. But since it's called House 3 and it's in this box set, I gotta give this a 5.5 out of 10. Being honest. Not House 3, 6.5. Maybe 7. I'll give it a 7 out of 10 if it wasn't House 3. But because this is a House 3 named Sean Cunningham, it's just not House. It's just a movie. Horror show. Like, it's just a movie. And when you thought the kookiness and the craziness, you would think, you know, they'd get it together, right? Well, it brings us to our final title in this collection, House 4, The Repossession, 1992. And Roger Cobb is back from part 1. Kind of. It's played again by William Katt. But don't get too excited. This one tries to recapture the spirit of the original, but it's a mess. Haunted plumbing, mafia goons, and yes, a singing evil pizza monster. This comedy falls. The comedy falls flat. The horror is not scary. The plot is bleh. It feels like a fever dream. It's got some moments, but it ends the series with a shrug more than a scream. This movie, I hate to say it, this was trash. This was literally trash. I kind of feel like a waste of time. And then bringing Roger back, and then it's like a whole different story, a whole different situation. It's like a whole nother universe because it's just different. It's nothing. This is nothing. How, like you thought House 3 wasn't House. This is not House. This literally is just. This is trash, whether it's House movie or not. That's all I gotta say. I would not recommend this movie. If you want to watch the House franchise, just watch 1 and 2, and that's it. 3, if you're really interested, because this isn't a bad movie, it's just a bad House movie. That's where this stands. This is just overall garbage. So yeah. So where does the House franchise stand overall? Well, it's one of the strangest horror sagas out there. The first one's a cult classic. The second one's a goofy fantasy troop, adventure. And I still like it. The rest, they have to be an acquired taste. If you tell me like part 3, I'm cool with that because part 3 isn't a bad movie. It's just like I said, it's a bad House movie. But it is part of the charm, and each one feels like it's its own haunted house ride. What's your favorite House movie? Or you're just here for that killer pizza scene in part 4? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this trip down weird horror lane, hit that like button and subscribe for more cult movie breakdowns. Thanks for watching, and just remember, not every house is a home. Sometimes it's just haunted as hell. I'm Dark Rewind. I'm out. Peace.
Don't forget to eat your favorite pizza, man.
Smell.
See, I told you that movie was garbage as hell. Thanks for watching again. Like and subscribe. Peace out.